financially?
If you look at the city of Santa Fe residents, yes, in both scenarios, yes, you can decrease the requirement to what they have to charge to the city residents. But it comes out to what NewGen did. I'm just looking at the report over here. It comes out to about 13 cents per month per customer for this $10 scenario, and for the $25 scenario, it'll come down to 33 cents per month per customer. That's what we have to look at.
Okay, so you didn't look at total cost to the city, because their bill, so for instance, I live in the city and I pay $16.46, and it's for both recycle per month, and it's because I went and looked just to make sure.
Sure.
And but it's combined. I don't pay separate for recycling and separate for refuse. So they're going to, for the city of Santa Fe, they're still only going to get one revenue from their customers, but they're going to be paying you two separate fees when they bring that to the landfill or to the recycling center. So I just wondered if you had done a similar analysis to what the city pays you as to which option is the better option for their bottom line.
Well, obviously, if you lower down the recycling cost, you have to increase the landfill tipping fee in order to balance out the revenue requirements. On the city, from a homeowner, they mentioned in our last board meeting, or the previous one, it's about $2.60 to $2.80 increase. Not counting what the city like to add on top of that. Okay. However, they may find a way to spread out that cost over the next few years, not to impact the resident immediately at the beginning. I don't have all the answers. They haven't finalized their rate study. They're supposed to present at their public utility committee in May, and we'll get to know more about what they're going to come up with. If you ship from recycling, you have to increase landfill, no matter how you look at it, one way or another.
And my estimate is that they have, as a percentage, a relatively small percentage of recycling to refuse. So if refuse goes up significantly more, then it might be a higher cost for them. And even though the recycling cost might drop, if refuse goes up, it may go up more than the offset. It depends on their total tonnage, I know. And I was just curious if you had looked at that. Because for Santa Fe County, yeah, it's an all-in thing for the residents. They pay per trip, and the recycling for refuse, and the recycling is free. So we don't have any revenue off of our residents to offset an increase in the recycling. We don't charge for it. So if the recycling processing fee goes up, then that's straight out of what revenue we currently have, and it's also straight out of the general fund because we don't have enough revenue to cover our costs anyway. So I don't think I have any other questions. I don't know if Public Works, if Gary did.
Manager Miller, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I think it would be useful for us to get the information that is being used for this report so that we can do our own analysis based on the tonnage that they are calculating so that we can determine which is the best option for us. So if we can share that information, that would be really helpful.
Thank you for that, Mr. Hidon. I'm going to go to Commissioner Hanson.
So, Randall, when you're calculating for the county, the tonnage, were you including the waste haulers, or are waste haulers that we have at the county completely separate?
They are separate.
Okay, thank you. I just wondered, since there was a discrepancy in the numbers.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hanson.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
Real-
Manager Miller, go ahead.
Randall, about how much of your business is from private haulers versus city and county?
City of Santa Fe is about 50%. Then you have other major haulers such Waste Management, MCT, Santa Fe Waste. Those are all larger players too. Then Santa Fe County comes along the line. I think Santa Fe County is now number 6 in terms of volume.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, Manager Miller. Okay, is there any other questions, comments? Okay, thank you very much, Randall. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Good seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to item number 7, and this is matters of public concern. Tessa Jo, did we have anybody from the public that signed up today to address the commission?
No, Mr. Chair, we've not.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask if there's anybody online that would like to address the commission. Please unmute yourself. If you're a call-in constituent, then you can unmute by hitting *6. And go ahead and state your name for the record. Okay, once again, I'll ask if there's anybody from the public that would like to address the commission.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
William Mee said he would like to comment.
Okay, Mr. Mee, go ahead, sir. You're muted, sir.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the target range, shooting range. I forgot that the Game and Fish people had told me that it was probably going to be on this meeting, but I kind of spaced out the timing of it. But anyway, Agua Fria has been very connected to the Caja de Rio Grande. And, when I was a kid, we would take a bunch of bottles with us in the back of the pickup truck and we'd set them up and we'd just blast them. There was maybe some couches out there and that was where you shot things. And, we did that for a number of years and everyone else did it. And it's a mess. And so to have a designated range with some type of entity of maybe a membership club or something like this that kind of polices the area, or maybe just trash pickup more so. That would be a great thing to have, and to have 3 of them across the county. There's this so much litter that's being caused by this. And, I feel for the homeowners of bullets flying across their house or, that type of thing. So I just really hope that the county can somehow participate. And we have a lot of shooters here in Agua Fria. And, if there was a nice range, I'm sure they would take advantage of it. So I'm kind of right in the middle of both sides. And I'm so glad that you had Randall Kipernock here. It was a very interesting presentation. We've had the county sustainability office come to the Agua Fria Village Association and talk about recycling. And that's always been a big issue because we have so many people coming in, say from California, and then they'll say, oh, well, in California, this is the way we recycle. and the recycling rules have really changed on our from SWAMA, and so I think it's hard for our residents to keep up with those changes. So they're contaminating those loads, and then it's affecting how much the money or the county gets back in money for those. So I would like to see a better education effort by the sustainability office, some kind of handouts or posters. I'm not sure what it takes to get the job done, but thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Mee. Thank you for your comments and being here today, sir. It was good to see you. Okay. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to address the commission? Okay, hearing none. I'm going to go ahead and close public comment and move on to item number 8. And these are matters from the county manager. The first one is 8A, which is a COVID update. And then we have 8B, which is miscellaneous updates. Manager Miller, would you like to do those 2 items? Manager Miller? Okay, I believe 8C is Manager Miller's as well. We can move on to 8D and come back to those items if we're okay to do the first special session of the 55th Legislative Potential Action to Express Support.
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Oh,
I'm
no
back.
worries. I'll go
Sorry.
back here. No worries.
I just stepped out of my office for a second. You could go to the legislative update and then I can come back to the miscellaneous. Thank you.
Okay, sure, no problem. So for the legislative update, are we going to have Mr. Miller? Is that you, sir, today? Or is Tessa also taking some of it, or are you?
Good
No,
afternoon,
Mr.
Mr.
Miller.
Chair and Commissioners. I don't have any report provided for today. Today's agenda item was more as a placeholder. If there's any more questions any of you had regarding any of the legislation for this special session. But I did want to add that this week, Finance had a meeting with different project managers regarding the various capital outlay projects. And so they are getting the additional questions submitted to the state regarding all the capital outlay projects. So those items look good and they're ready to go and accept grants once they are received by the state for those particular capital outlay projects. And with that, if there's any other questions, I'm happy to entertain any of those.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Miller. I'm going to go to the commission. Is there any commissioners that want any updates on any of the anything from the legislature? Okay, seeing none. Thank you again, Mr. Miller. We appreciate it. Catherine,
You're
we have
welcome.
item number 8A, which is a COVID-19 update, and 8B, if you want to do both of those, the miscellaneous updates and the COVID-19.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. So just some real quick COVID updates. The county still continues to stay in turquoise. And as you know, we have to have a case rate of less than or equal to 8 per 100,000 and a positivity rate of less than or equal to 5%. And the last time around, we were at under 8 per 100,000 and well under the 5%. We have 62.1% of our residents partially vaccinated and 39.5% fully vaccinated and 69.8% registered. But we are noticing a slowdown. We had a couple of vaccination events that we coordinated with Department of Health and Krista St. Vincent's, the last one being at the fairgrounds, Santa Fe County Fairgrounds. The one prior to that was at Edgewood. The first event had 300 vaccinations in Edgewood, and then the second had just a little over 400. Both our county staff were present and working at both events, and all those staff were also invited to receive vaccinations at the second event if they had not already done so. We also had a event at the detention center with about 198 doses given today, and that was for inmates as well as staff that had not been vaccinated. As of last week, I think we had a pretty high percentage of the staff at corrections had been vaccinated. It was around, I think we are at our staff was over 63% prior to this event today. So that number continues to increase, and I believe that's one of the best county jails in the state. So that also, any of the individuals who had the vaccine event last week on April 23rd, they received the Moderna vaccine, and they will get a second dose in approximately 28 days. We also continue to push forward a public awareness campaign about vaccinations and continue to work with our Connect program, providing assistance through our providers, providing grocery boxes, home delivered meals to homebound individuals. Although we are starting to pull back the rural food distribution, we're only doing those the first week of the month now. And then I think that's about it on the COVID. Well, additionally, the American Rescue Plan, they still haven't, and we'll talk about this a little bit on Friday, we still have not received federal guidelines. We keep being told those are coming soon, but we have not received guidelines on the direct allocation that we'll be receiving. We've only been told we will receive funding, and we will be required to spend it in accordance with the federal Treasury guidelines or pay it back, and that we will receive it directly, and that it's about 50% of the $29.1 million estimated amount. And the Crisis Center continues to move forward. Thank you for the approval today of the lease agreement. That will need to go on to the Board of Finance at the state, and we will also are working, public works staff, project staff are working with the Department of Health to get it certified by DOH now. It did pass the fire marshal inspection. So we're getting to our last pieces of putting that in place, and hopefully we will be able to open the facility in June to in-person visits. Then I just wanted, that was all I had on COVID updates. And then I just wanted to give Jennifer LeBar a good opportunity to give you what's going on in film. You've probably noticed we've had some recent coverage of film, and she's excited about our sizzle reel as well as some of the productions going on.
Thank you, County Manager Miller. You all can hear me okay? Thank you, Chairman Roybal, Commissioners, Jennifer, Santa Fe Film Office. As County Manager Miller mentioned, we've received a lot of press the last month or so. A lot of it stemmed from our Christmas movie that we had here in Santa Fe. It's a Lifetime Christmas movie starring Mario Lopez, and his production company came in and produced it. And Mario is a big social media user, and he was on his social media constantly just talking all about Santa Fe, how great the food is, how great the people are, how much he's loving filming here. And he's actually one of the hosts of Access Hollywood, and he was opening the show and closing the show for about 3 weeks from Santa Fe. So Santa Fe has had a ton of exposure over the last 3 weeks just with his presence being here and shooting the Lifetime Christmas movie, which people ask me, well, when's it coming out? It's coming out at Christmas time. So it'll be at the end of this year. It'll be on Lifetime, and I'll be sure and let you all know when it's going to air. They actually rewrote the script to name it Holiday in Santa Fe. They loved Santa Fe that much. We are on pace for having a record year this year, with having being shut down for about 6 months last year for COVID. Things were slowing down in terms, or they were shut down permanently for production, but calls were still coming in. So the film office was still really busy planning for when we could open up, which we were able to open up this past fall. We were deemed essential. So productions have been here. I just picked up 3 new productions today. So it ranges from photo shoots, it ranges to documentaries, student films, and then we've got the big, what they call tentpole productions, which are the really large budget productions. Roswell, which is a Warner Brothers television show, they just wrapped their 3rd season, which is all filmed here in Santa Fe. They rent out Santa Fe Studios all year. They are starting season 4 in June, so they got picked up for another season by Warner Brothers, so we're happy about that. Lamy saw some action last week. An Amazon series that's primarily shooting up in Las Vegas, New Mexico, has been coming to Santa Fe every once in a while, and they were just in Lamy for about a week, a week or so ago. And we had a reality show at Romero Park last week, and the news has been covering a lot of this, so it's been great exposure for Santa Fe and for the office. And one last thing before I show you the sizzle reel is News of the World is out now. It's streaming, and it's also at the Violet Crown, which I did last night. I rented out a theater at the Violet Crown. You can rent it out for $100. Invite 20 of your closest friends to come see it. And News of the World is starring Tom Hanks. It was all filmed in Santa Fe County. We've received a ton of publicity from that production as well, especially from the creatives who have been talking to Variety and different agencies about how they were able to make a 600-mile journey within 45 miles because it was all done at our Western sets in Santa Fe County. And News of the World was up for 4 Oscar nominations. They were up for Best Cinematography, Best Original Score, Best Production Design, and Best Sound. Unfortunately, they didn't win any of the Oscars, but just to get nominated is huge. So we were happy about that. And the last thing about the Violet Crown is I reached out to the general manager over there, and he's agreed to play the sizzle reel that you're about to see before each of the showings of News of the World, since they're playing that as one of the features that you can watch. So they'll be playing that before each of them. And so I'm going to go ahead. Daniel, can you go ahead and share it? Make sure and turn up your speakers.
Someone is outside. Knocking. No. Don't open it, Mother. That living thing could be out in such a storm.
You know the story. But you can't give them up. Because, well, they connect the stories to themselves, I suppose. And we all love hearing about ourselves. So long as the people in the stories are us, but not us.
that sizzle reel was done last year with just some of the productions that were done in Santa Fe. The opening shot you might see was Waldo Canyon. So that's just, that was in Commissioner Garcia's district, but that's that opening shot. But all of that's all done in Santa Fe County. And so they'll be showing that at the beginning of News of the World at Violet Crown. So some of our residents will get to experience that as well. And I can stand or sit for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Labar, and great work. Thank you so much. Great reel. If we want to share this reel, will we be able to get a link so that we can share it as well?
Of course. Yes.
Thank you. That's great. Any other comments from commissioners? Commissioner Hanson, go ahead.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad to know that Romero Park got a little action and Diablo Canyon got some action. So thank you for that, and thank you for the great job you're doing.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Any other comments? Commissioner Hughes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just thank you for the report. And I was just going to say, I'm glad Roswell got renewed because that's my favorite show.
Great.
Thank you.
We'll have to get you out on set sometime, Commissioner.
That would be fun.
I did notice that I think Daniel already posted the link, so thank you, Daniel, for doing that. Any other comments? Just once again, Manager Miller?
Oh, not on this, but I had one last update. One other
Okay.
miscellaneous update.
Awesome. Thank you again, Jennifer. Great job. Please extend our gratitude to the whole office. Okay.
Thank you. You just did. Thank you.
You're a one-person warrior, huh? Thank you so much. Manager Miller?
And then I just wanted to put out a reminder. We, for Earth Day, we actually made it an Earth month or Earth 5 weeks. And so just a reminder that this Saturday, May 1st, District 4, Hondo Fire Station 2 from 9 to 1. And then the following Saturday, District 3, Edgewood Senior Center. That's May 8th from 9 to 5. And then the last but not least event will be on May 15th, 9 to 5 at the Max Cole Community Center. So I just wanted to remind everybody of those dates. And that's all for my updates.
Okay, great. Thank you, Manager Miller. We appreciate that. Did we need to, we had item 8C, is that correct? Are you giving the update on that as well? And it's the pricing certification of Santa Fe County, New Mexico General Obligation Improvement and Refunding Bond Series.
Sorry, I set my packet over there. Either I can or Yvonne can. I didn't know if Yvonne had planned to do that, Herrera, or if she, because it didn't say on the item. But I can.
Chair Roybal, County Manager Miller, I'm here if you want me to do it. I actually forgot all about this. I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
Go
ahead, Yvonne. That'd be great.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
We do have the pricing certificate in the packet, so
Okay.
Dan, you could pull up.
So Chair Roybal, Commissioners, on as required by Chapter 61410, the county manager shall certify in writing that the final terms of the sale of the general obligation improvement and refunding bonds series 2021 complied with the parameters and conditions as determined in resolution 2021-026. A notice of sale resolution for general obligation improvement and refunding bond series 2021 with the bond resolution, and present the certification as evidence with the attached pricing certificate to the Board of County Commissioners. Within that state law, it provided the board the opportunity to to delegate the authority of selecting the best price for debt sales. And a part of that process requires that the county manager report back to the board that that we did select the appropriate with the best price for the county, as well as complied with the terms of the resolution for the notice of sale. So on March 9, 2021, the board adopted the bond resolution authorizing the issuance of the 2021 GO bonds, delegating that authority to determine the final terms of the bonds to the county manager. The sale occurred on April 7th, 2021. In attendance for that sale was Commissioner Hamilton, County Manager Miller, Deputy County Manager Bernardino, and County Attorney Schaefer, as well as myself, and the county's financial advisor, RBC Capital. The sale lasted almost 45 minutes, with 11 organizations bidding a total of 56 times. The best bidder was awarded to UMB Bank. The bond sold for $26,031,469.51. Of that amount, it was broken out to $24,445,000 par amount and a premium of $1,675,654.40 for the premium, and then the underwriter discount was $89,104.89. A lot of numbers there. The net effective interest rate is 0.553051, as required by the bond resolution. The proceeds are broken out for $20 million will be used to fund various road, open space, and water and wastewater projects. All $20 million voter authorized bonds have been issued with this bond sale. And then the remaining proceeds of the $4,445,000 will be used to refund the General Obligation Improvement and Refunding Bond Series 2011. The bond closing was scheduled for this morning at 9:30. Funding occurred actually right before that bond closing. The bonds will mature on July 1st of 2035 and are callable on or after July 1st, 2028. As part of the bond sale process, Standard & Poor's assigned a AAA rating to the 2021 bonds and affirmed the AAA long-term rating on the county's existing GO bonds. And as Manager Miller indicated, attached in the packet is the pricing certificate providing evidence that the bond sale complied with the Resolution 2021-026, a notice of sale resolution for General Obligation Improvement and Refunding Bond Series 2021. And with that, I'll stand for any questions that the board may have.
Okay, great, Yvonne. Thank you for that update. Do we have any questions relative to this presentation from the board? Okay, seeing none. We appreciate that update, Yvonne. Again, thank you so much. I know we caught you off guard a little bit, but you did great, so we appreciate it. We're going to go on to our next item, and this is actually item number 9. And this is matters from the county commissioners and other elected officials. These are action and possibly non-action items, but first we have 9A, which are commissioner issues, comments, including but not limited to constituent concerns, recognitions, and requests for updates for future presentations. First, I just wanted to give a quick update on the Earth Day that we had in District 1. It was really great. I mean, it was a great turnout. We were able to plant just a huge amount of trees and bushes, and it was planted some flowers, and it was really great. You know, we really had a great day, a lot of participation, and I just want to thank my constituents that were there. And we had other elected officials. I know that we had Representative Tara Lujan. We had Senator Ben Ray Lujan. We also had our county clerk was also there helping out, and so she helped us plant some trees. So thank you for that. It was a really good time. We really enjoyed it and had quite a few. I'm really excited to see how these plants grow and the trees and bushes, and just see how it turns out here shortly. Staff was there and they were awesome. They did a great job. Watered the plants right away as soon as we were done planting, and so just a really good time. So I really appreciate the success that we had on that Earth Day. So and I think it was I want to give special thanks to all of the participants. And Miss Bean was there and she did a great job, and my constituent liaison Ambro was there. She did a great, was really great out there. So I just want to thank all the staff and also Commissioner Hansen for working really hard on this project. I think that it was a great success. So thank you all for the participation. The other thing I wanted to bring up relative to the county and to the commission as a whole is I was notified by the secretary of the RCLC that they never acquired a signature on the JPA that we approved about 2 years ago. So there wasn't a signature, and I was asked about acquiring a signature for that approval. There were some clerical changes to that JPA that were incorporated, so I'm asking that Attorney Schaefer or get with the RCLC legal counsel, which is Nancy Long, of the RCLC, so that we can give a comprehensive, or he can give a comprehensive updates to the clerical changes. I also want to be, definitely listen to, we had a couple of different advocate groups that felt that Santa Fe County shouldn't participate on the RCLC any longer. But I also had commissioners that also mentioned their concern with the RCLC. So I think we've all received emails, and I've heard some comments and concerns from our commission, and so I want to make sure that that we're taking all that into consideration, and I want to be able to see what the commission wants and Santa Fe County as a whole wants to do as far as the RCLC. And I just want to work our hopes of hearing from our board as far as I guess how Santa Fe County is the commitment and where we are with being on this board in the future. And so I kind of want to bring that up, and so I'm asking staff to and Greg to work on that to bring forward, because I think that we need to get some clear direction from the board, and I want to make sure that I'm listening to my fellow commissioners and their concerns, and making sure that this is a board that we want to stay active on. So it's something that I want to bring on the next on our next BCC meeting. So we'll look at it then, and we'll bring that forward at that point, and so we can look at that. Okay, so I just want to bring that up as well. And I think that's all I have as far as updates on my side. So I'm going to go to Commissioner Hansen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So first I want to let you all know that the Santa Fe County was mentioned in the NACO news, and we were mentioned in there for our energy efficiency standards and adopting our new energy efficiency standards. We got a couple paragraphs in around across the nation in the NACO news that I think some of you get also besides me, which I was very happy to have our energy efficiency vote be mentioned there. I know that when I did mention it at NACO, people were highly impressed that we were even dealing with energy efficiency and that we were willing to make our code stronger. So I was grateful to see that. I then also want to mention Reunity Resources in my district. The community farm is starting with a seedling sale on May 8th and May 22nd from 9 to 1. Their farm stand is starting to open up. So that's exciting. And Rose's Kitchen Farm to Table Truck will also be expanding its menu and hours in collaboration with the YouthWorks culinary program. And they are kicking off a special Mother's Day picnic brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come celebrate, enjoy great food, outdoor recreation, live music and magic, and sponsor a family to be served from many mothers is also a possibility if you'd like to donate. Also, Reunity Resources having a summer farm camp for kids age 5 to 10. Excuse me. And for more information, go to reunityresources.com. Next, I would like to give a huge shout out. Oh my God, Earth Day at the Santa Fe River and the San Ysidro Crossing was incredible. We had more than 60 community members volunteer, and that doesn't include children and our four-legged friends who participated in the event. We successfully planted 175 trees and plants plus wildflowers along the riverbank and trail at San Ysidro Crossing. This was also made possible because we partnered with the Santa Fe Watershed. They got a grant from Community Tree, and so they were a partner with us at this Santa Fe River. I want to extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to the following county staff for their hard work in organizing and carrying out the event. Jacqueline Bean, our sustainability manager, Carrie Olson, project manager 2, Epi Tapia, maintenance foreman, Frankie Baca, maintenance technician, and Sarah Smith, my constituent service liaison, and of course, Daniel Fresca for a media coordinator for capturing the spirit of the day. Yay to all of them. And just to let you know that Santa Fe County and the Santa Fe Watershed will be watering the plants and trees. I want to thank also a really special thanks to Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez for coming, not only planting a cottonwood tree with all of us, and also taking a tour of Reunity Resource Community Farm, which she was really impressed with. And I also want to thank Representative Lujan and County Clerk Catherine Clark for coming out. It was an amazing, amazing day. I was just like so thrilled, and it was just fantastic. There is not enough words. And I want to also give a shout out to Andy Otto, Morris Henley, and Keely Kenmore Jackson of Santa Fe Watershed. They helped recruit and organize volunteers and use their grant to hire Athena Busher of Seeds of Wisdom, who helped us design and landscaping. Athena and Matthew worked at the event, and their knowledge of the plants and guidance with volunteers helped extremely. The Agua Fria Village Association Board, William, Catherine, Charlie, and Lois all showed up, to Linda Han and Julie, and to Gender of Reunity Resources. So it was just an amazing, amazing event, and I am so excited to see the trees and plants all start blooming along the San Ysidro Crossing. And our next event there will be on May 15th, when it's San Ysidro Day. And so we'll get another opportunity to walk along the river and see all the special things that happen. So I can't thank county staff and the Santa Fe Watershed Association enough. It was just totally, totally amazing. So thank you so much, everyone. And that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Hanson. We appreciate the update and glad to hear that it was a great event as well in District 2. Commissioner Hamilton?
Thanks. Manager Miller already mentioned the next Earth Day, which is this Saturday in District 4. So we'll be doing planting. I think it's on a smaller scale than what just happened in District 2 or even probably District 1. It's a smaller space, but we'll be at the Hondo Fire Station 2 from 9 to like 1:15. And I'm really looking forward to everybody who wants to come to show up and continue this great Earth Day activity.
Thank you, Commissioner Hamilton. Commissioner Hughes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, just to, I'm really impressed what you did in District 1 and District 2. I feel like I've got to step up to the plate now and invite President Biden or something to come to mine. But anybody who wants to come to the District 5 Earth Day event on May 15th, you're welcome. Even if you went to the last one, we're going to have fun out at the Max Cole Community Center and plant some good stuff. The other thing is, just to reiterate, I said this before, but we're working on a affordable housing resolution to kind of set the stage for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund we all want to create. And that should be coming forth to the commission sometime in May. That's what I'm hoping for. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Hughes, and definitely let me know if you get President Biden to come. I'll definitely come out. I'll be there. I might be there anyways if you let me know the date. So
May 15th.
Appreciate it. May 15th. All right. Sounds good. Now you just got to tell me where the Maxwell Community Center is at, and then I'll be set. Commissioner Hanson.
Mr. Chair, thank you. So I feel I felt really honored that I was able to get Congresswoman Teresa Leger Fernandez to come, but I want to mention that what had happened is we had been on 2 events one night, one for Council on International Relations, which we are both members of, and gave comments. And then the next day I did a DC fly-in virtually with the Wilderness Society. And our office, we got to talk to her about protecting our wilderness from oil and gas regulation. And so I had the opportunity to invite her. And so it was just serendipitous that I had that opportunity. So it was really great to have her come and see all the things that Santa Fe County is doing and the good work that we are doing throughout the county.
Okay, great. Thank you for that additional information. I did neglect to mention that any constituents that are out there in the La Puebla area, we've helped with the constituents in that area that have come together to make a community cleanup day. It's in La Puebla on Sunday, May 2nd. So if we, the more participation we have, the better it'll be. So I think right now we have 14 constituents that have signed up to volunteer to get out there and help us. And county is going to provide vests, safety vests, and gloves, and I think trash bags. It's going to be at 8 a.m. So if we can get as many people out there just to beautify the community, I would really appreciate that. And I wanted to mention that, and I neglected when I first made my announcements. So thank you so much.
Chair Roybal, thank you for mentioning that. That is one of the serious things. Thank you for doing a cleanup. I have gotten numerous calls about how much litter there is on 599 and Calle del Rio and all over in different places throughout the county, and people are constantly complaining. And I think during this pandemic, I don't know what happened to people's responsibility, but it might be some of the haulers not covering their loads, but I plan to bring it up at SWAMA also. But let's keep Santa Fe beautiful and clean. So, thank you for organizing that. That is fantastic. Thank you, Chair Roybal.
Thank you, Commissioner Hanson. Okay, any other comments, announcements? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go to our next item, which is 9B. And this is for other elected officials. I'm going to go to our county clerk, Miss Catherine Clark.
Thank you, Chair Roybal. I just wanted to remind everyone that we will be having a special election starting a week from today, Tuesday, May 4th. Early voting starts at the Town of Edgewood Municipal Building, and that's the first day that absentee ballots that have been requested will go into the mail. So we're looking forward to conducting the election, and I want to say I'm sorry to miss the May 1st tree planting for District 2, but I will be in Edgewood conducting a training on elections. So District 4. Sorry, District 4. It is low blood sugar time during the meeting. Right, anyway, so I just wanted to alert voters that if they have more questions about voting, we have a webpage on our website with the voting times, and you can always go to nmvote.org to check your voter registration.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. I see we have our treasurer online too, Miss our Treasurer Manzanares. Did you have anything that you wanted to share with your constituents? I know that we do have an item that's coming up on 10 as well, but if you had anything that you'd like to share with your constituents, please feel free.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. I don't at this moment, and we'll wait until the presentation.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other elected officials on the line or in the meeting right now, Tessa? You might be able to see all of.
No, Mr. Chair, I don't believe that we do. The sheriff was on earlier, but it looks like he has signed off.
Okay. I noticed that earlier too. I just wanted to make sure that I gave him the opportunity if he was still on. So thank you for checking for me. Okay,
Welcome.
so I think we have to, and correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney Schaefer, but do we have to leave this meeting, adjourn this meeting temporarily and reconvene as the, we have to do a temporary recess, is that correct? So I have to ask for a motion for a temporary recess so we can reconvene as the finance, for the Board of Finance.
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so can I get a motion for a temporary recess?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Commissioner Hamilton and a second from Commissioner Hughes. I'm going to go to this is just a roll call vote, right? Attorney Schaefer?
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so Commissioner Hanson,
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton,
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
and a yes from Commissioner Roybal. So we are recessed. And I'm going to go ahead and call. Does anybody need a break before we go on to the next item? Okay, so if we could let's go ahead and do a 4-minute break, and we'll reconvene at. I don't want to check the county computer. Okay, so let's just reconvene at 7 o'clock. So we'll take a short break. Thank you. Okay, it looks like we have, or we need Commissioner Hanson, so we'll wait a few more minutes for Commissioner Hanson to come back on. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and call our Santa Fe County Board of Finance meeting to order. Can we get a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Here's Chair Ball. Commissioner Anna Henson.
Present.
Commissioner Anna Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Rudy Garcia.
He's excused.
Okay. Commissioner Hughes.
Here.
Chair Roy Ball.
I'm here.
Okay, so we have quorum.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, so first I want to go to item number 10C, and this is the approval of the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda, Commissioner Hanson?
I just wanted to move to approve.
So we have a motion from Commissioner Hanson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And a second from Commissioner Hamilton. I'm going to go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hanson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
And a yes from Commissioner Roybal. So this agenda has been approved. We're going to go on to item number 10D. And this is a presentation of the county quarterly investment report for January through March 31st, 2021. And we have the Honorable Jennifer Manzanares, our Santa Fe County Treasurer.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, Manager Miller. Yes, the first presentation of our first half report from January 1st to March 31st. First slide, please. Or I should say next slide, please. So our Santa Fe County Treasurer's challenges, and I like to look at these as opportunities as well to learn and to grow as a team. So our first bullet, our Fed fund rate remaining at near zero is a challenge. The second bullet, investing and reinvesting in this environment, has also become a challenge for the office. We have a prediction of 35 million plus or minus in in-call notices. To date, we have 10 million that have been called. Our fourth bullet, we have our post-pandemic office planning, and that's including revamping some areas that we want to better serve the community. We know with COVID, we've had lots of changes to where we have to improve in areas that meet the customer's needs. Fifth bullet, our post-pandemic delinquencies and uncertainties, and we will know by the first half of 2021 property tax year, because of the current escrow issue, what we'll have in terms of the pandemic impact on the county property tax. Currently in the Treasurer's Office, we have a large volume of incoming calls and emails, and we are staffing up to have a dedicated customer service staff person who will be addressing more of the web chat and more interactive with the customers, so that we're meeting that need of a large volume incoming calls and emails. Finally, on our last bullet, our retaining of our cashiers and recruiting the talent to have individuals come into the community, into the county that would like to, from the community into the county that would like to look at this as a career and not just a job for long-term retention. Next slide. Currently, our fiscal agent balance as of March 31st, we have 41 accounts. As you can see, our balance is $50,425,617.80 at 40 basis points. We are currently in the middle half of our second half property tax for 2020, and we're anticipating higher balances in April and May, and we have a lot of incoming mail, so we do anticipate that we're going to be higher in our balances coming up. Next slide, please. Our portfolio balance in our operations account, we have $133,898,681.32. In our core account, $27,453,085.99. In our GOB of 2011, $4,437,601.93. In our GOB 2013, $4,038,270.68. Our GOB 2018, $10,060,242.74. Our GOB for 2019, $10,061,571.03. In our Schwab account, we have $31,880,566.38. Housing, $4,001,287.07. And finally, in our UBS account, $40,455,613.23. So our grand total is $267,286,920.37. Next slide. As well as our settlement, just as a footnote, as of today, we had our bond sale that has settled at $24+ million. That was mentioned earlier in the meeting tonight. So diversifications within the portfolios, as you can see, there's several areas that we've invested. To name a few, farm credit bonds. We have some Fannie Mae's, Supras, some local CDs, Treasury, U.S. Treasury bills. And so again, as you can see within the investment policy, we are diversifying our portfolio. Next slide. Other holdings we have currently are the LAMB Studio CD, which is $4,947,817.81. In local CDs, we have $1,265,354.43. In our BNY Mellon, $11,738,731.95. And in total, $17,951,904.19. Next slide. Grand total of all of our holdings, our total are $335,664,442.39. Next slide. So again, as an estimated annual income for calendar year 2021, the total for these, again, it's an estimation, will be $2,586,002.80. Next slide. In our earnings, we have our LAMB Studio CD at 250 basis points, our FICAs ranging from 5 to 12 basis points, UBS 1 to 2 basis points, Schwab 1 basis point, and our investments are between 50 to 275 basis points. Next slide. And finally, to our investment strategy. So for a 6-month investment strategy, we're looking at the first bullet, to invest in Bermuda and Canary securities with a 6-month to 1-year call protection. Second bullet, to invest in coupons with sensible cash flow. Third bullet, to invest in Supras or GSEs with sensible spreads over the Treasury. Our fourth bullet, to propose commercial purpose paper investments to investment committee members. And finally, to look for anything that with a higher yield for the county's investment policy. This being an action item, I'm looking for a motion for approval.
I'll move for approval.
there a second?
I'll
I have a
second.
question.
Discussion? Commissioner Hamilton?
Thank you. This is consistent with investment policy. It's an action item because it's for the next 6 months of activity.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe we have a first and a second, Mr. Chair, and I yield for any questions.
Mr. Chair, I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry about that. I unmuted one spot and not the other. Commissioner Hughes, did you have a question as well?
Yeah, I should remember this. I think we talked about it, but could you describe the Bermuda and Canary certificates a little bit?
Commissioner, yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Hughes, I'm going to yield to Deputy Treasurer to better explain that.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Hughes. Those are different styles of paper that they have out there, and what that is the frequency that they're called. What we've been doing a lot since last year, for example, Bermuda, you'll see a security that's offered. We'll look at an example like a 7-year, 1 year, meaning it will. They get it and they price it for 7 years, but it's actually will be called in 1 year. And those ones have a little bit higher spread than a regular conventional callable security. And a canary is called twice and then it becomes a bullet. And usually it will only get called the one time again because of the call protection. So you're looking at like a 10-year, 1 year, a 7-year, 1 year, a 5-year, 6 month, and so on. So we get that extra bit of yield paid for in 6 months. And it's already been proving itself. We got a lot of, like stated earlier, from Treasurer Manzanares, that we already had 10 million called from those call notices that we had invested the year prior. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, so what banks usually offer those?
They're not actually banks. They're actually like federal farm credits, Fannie Mae's, Freddie Mac's. They're basically fixed income that offer those types of securities with those Bermudas or Canaries.
Okay, great. Thank you. That helped.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hughes. Any other questions relative to this item? Okay. Seeing none, we do have a motion and a second. I'm going to go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hanson?
Yeah.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
And a yes from Commissioner Roybal. So this item is approved unanimously with the commissioners that are currently present. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Treasurer Manzanares, but did that take care of item 10D and 10E?
That is, Mr. Chair, that is correct. That did take care of both item D and E.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right. So with that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Commissioner Hanson?
So moved. I move to adjourn.
Okay, we have
Second.
and multiple seconds. And I always appreciate multiple seconds instead of waiting, right? So we have a motion and a second. I'm going to go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hanson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
And a yes from Commissioner Roybal. So we are adjourned. Thank you once again, Madam Treasurer. We really appreciate it. Okay, so I think we have to have another motion to reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners. Is that correct, Attorney Schaefer?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so can I get a motion to reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion from Commissioner Hanson and a second from Commissioner Hughes. I'm going to go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Hanson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes.
and a yes from Commissioner Roybal. And so we are reconvened as the Board of County Commissioners. The next item that we have on our agenda is item number 11, and this is matters from the county attorney. Attorney Schaefer, can you give us a summary of what we'll be going into executive session for?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Before I do so, I would note that we will not be needing any action on items discussed in executive session this evening, so we won't need to return to open session after executive session. So therefore, unless the board has questions of staff regarding the informational items and reports that are included in your packet under item 12, the board could adjourn the open session and conclude the meeting after executive session without coming back to open session. With that, by way of summary, we will be needing executive session this evening to discuss only 2 items, and that would be limited personnel matters as allowed by section 1015(1)(h)(2) NMSA 1978, and discussion of bargaining strategy preliminary to collective bargaining negotiations between the Board of County Commissioners and collective bargaining units as allowed by section 1015(1)(h)(5). And that'll be for 1, performance evaluation of the county manager, and then item 3 listed on your agenda, discussion of bargaining strategy preliminary to collective bargaining negotiations concerning ASME 1413, 1413M, IAFF Local 4366, NMCPSO RECC, and NMCPSO Deputy Sheriff's Association. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney Schaefer. And I don't have any questions, just a thank you to staff for the monthly reports. I mean, it's really helpful for us to be able to look at these and get all the information from them. So just a thank you to staff. Did any other commissioners have any questions of staff before we allow them to? Okay, so then we're good to go. If I could get a motion to go into executive session for the items that were summarized by Attorney Schaefer. Commissioner Hamilton?
Yes, I'd move we go into executive session exactly as you said for the items as described by Attorney Schaefer, and noting that we would end this meeting and adjourn from executive session.
Thank you for making that note as well. Do I hear a second? Commissioner Hanson, Commissioner Hughes, both of you guys? Second, thumbs up.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, can you do a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Annie Hansen.
Yes.
Commissioner Annie Hamilton.
Yes.
I'm going to mark Commissioner Garcia as excused, even if that's not an option on my sheet. Okay, Commissioner Hughes.
Yes.
And Chair Roybal.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. We're in executive session. Thank you all for being here. Remember that there's a separate link to join an executive session, so we'll leave this meeting. Thank you.